guys, today I'm filming my second update in my chopping block series for 2020. If you guys have not seen my intro or my first update, I will have my playlist linked in the cards. And basically at the beginning of the year, I chose a whole bunch of products that I wanted to test throughout the year and make a final decision whether I wanted to keep them or not. In my intro is where I just showed you all the products, but in the updates, I'm only going to be reviewing the products I tested over the past 2 months. I'm also going to let you know any other random products I chose to declutter, anything I returned, and anything I had to throw out because it went bad. And we have a ton of products here. This is going to be a long update like always. So we're just going to start with the things that I'm keeping. I'm keeping 8 products, 2 things for eyes, cheeks, lips, and nails. So starting with the eye products, the first one is the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Too Cool. This is an awesome shimmery white base. I did put this on one eye and then my matte white base on the other eye, and then paired some shimmery pastel shadows on top of it. The shimmer shades did show up nicer and more shimmery when over this base. So I felt like that did justify it for me holding on to this. Now this base is a little patchy. I feel like you can tell my shadow isn't equally as intense, and I did apply one layer. This, if you mess with it a little too much, it can get a little patchy, a little bit uneven, so that's a bit annoying. And also the packaging on this one is a little jacked up and I can't fix it, so it's like more air gets in here. So I might get rid of this at some point, but this is something that serves enough of a purpose for me to hold on to it. The other eye products I have is a Dose of Colors Ideal Duo and Magic Moment. So with these products, you get a really sticky cream shadow on top, and then on the bottom you have a loose pigment. And I actually really enjoyed this product. This is a beautiful rose gold with enough like copper in it. It's so stunning. And that cream shadow on its own, you cannot wear. It is not extremely pigmented and it's hella sticky, but that makes the perfect base for the loose pigment. You don't need a glitter glue, and then going in with the duo, you just need a regular eyeshadow primer. Love the way this looks on the lid, and it really was not hard to work with either, so I definitely am gonna keep that in my collection. For the 2 blushes, I want to show you them side by side. I am keeping Spectra from Lorac and Naked Rose from Illamasqua. So these are similar, but Illamasqua is more pink and Lorac is more peach. These are bright and muted at the same time. They're really great spring colors. Both of these formulas are incredibly pigmented. They do have a matte finish. They blend out nicely in the skin. I just really enjoy the way these look, so these will definitely be hanging around in my collection. For lips, I have 2 things from Nude Sticks. So the first is the Nude Sticks Nudies All Over Face Color Matte Cream in the shade Naughty and Spice. For these like all over colors, I think they have a couple different formulas. This I can't really imagine using on my cheeks. I don't think it's creamy enough for me, but it's really nice for the lips. I really like that color. Then the other one I'm keeping is the Nude Sticks Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencil in Belle. In my last update, I had decluttered several more nude sticks, but it was because of the formulas. The Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencils are really creamy. So that is what that color looks like. Really, really beautiful and very nice formulas. So these are 2 Nude Sticks products that I'm really impressed with and I will definitely hold on to. And I will go ahead and show you my polishes that I'm keeping instead of saving it for the end, especially since there's only 2. So the first one is KL Polish Miss Honey. If you saw my intro, I added in a bunch of KL polishes, and it's not because I tried them and wasn't sure how I felt about them. It's because all of those were sent to me by my friend Amanda and I hadn't tried them yet. So I wanted to make sure I used them and then decide if I wanted to keep it or not. Miss Honey is such a nice peachy nude. This is a beautiful color, absolutely loved it. And the other polish I decided to keep is from Pop Beauty. This is Mint Magic. This was discontinued long ago, and I've used about, not quite half the bottle, but almost. And it's a really beautiful shade. And I actually got this to apply pretty opaque in 2 to 3 coats. I just have to be more patient. I think previously I was trying to like only do 2 coats. So I was going on like a little bit heavier handed, a little bit more globby. So it was going on uneven, but this is a beautiful color. And if you have a good top coat, this will last for a decent amount of time without chipping. But if you don't have a good top coat, this will chip pretty intensely, but it's such a unique shade. I really felt like I was probably going to get rid of this, but I did not have trouble applying it this time, so I will keep it. So those are my 8 keeps. I feel good about everything. The only product I might get rid of in the future is the color tattoo, but everything else is staying for sure. So I actually have no returns from the past 2 months. And mostly that's because we've been quarantined. I haven't been able to go in store to return anything, and I am not someone that returns things by mail. I probably should try to make sure I get money back and whatnot, but it just makes me a little nervous. But honestly, there really hasn't been anything that I've wanted to return. I did buy a lot of things during the 21 Days of Beauty that I have not tried yet, so I need to try them out, and I might have some returns by my next update, but nothing for now, which is good because I know returning things is not great because products are just being thrown out. So I do have one thing that I'll be trashing, unfortunately. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Daddy. I did hit paint on this, but it has completely fallen apart, and it honestly looked like this when I first got it, and it's just way too difficult to use, and I'm just over it. So that is going in the trash. So now for the Declutter products. So I don't know which of these were chopping block products and which were random declutters. I didn't separate it out like that just because I have so many things here. I'm just separating them by like the categories of the makeup in the order I would apply them to my face, if that makes sense. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. For my numbers wise, I'll try to go back and watch my intro and find out which was a chopping block product. It's mostly lip products. It won't be too hard for me to figure out, but this just makes more sense to me. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. And then at the end, I'll count up how many products I'm decluttering because it feels like a lot. And a big reason for that is due to a project I'm doing on my channel that you guys will see next week. And I've been able to look at my collection in a bit of a different way, which has helped me let go of a lot of products, which I'm super happy about. And I'm hoping that next update, I will get rid of a lot of products as well, but we'll see. So first I have a whole bunch of primers. So some of these are backup primers. What I've said before is that, you know, if there's a primer I think I'll like and I get multiple freebies, I'll put one in my main drawer and then the other one's in my backup drawer. And then when it comes time for me to try out the main one, I will decide whether I like it enough to keep my backups or if I want to give them away. So I decided to go ahead and test out a couple of primers so I can make some decisions. So the first one we have here is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I just don't get on well with this. I, of course, do have oily skin. I like matte primers, but this is too gluey for me. It makes my makeup look bad, and it's way too hard for me to work with, even though I'm applying it like you're supposed to, where you kind of warm it up between your fingers and then just press it into the skin. I still don't like it, so I'm gonna give that to a friend. Then I got the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control Primer, and I did have 3 tubes of this. I do have one. I've used it once. I do like it well enough, but I don't think I also need to keep these because I have so many primers in my collection. So I'm gonna put these in giveaways. I think this will be really awesome for my summer giveaway. And then I have 3 of the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, the blurring one. My friend Jean sent me one, and then I did have 2 other little minis. So the 2 unopened ones are gonna go in a giveaway. And then the one I did open, I'm just gonna send to my friend Ami. And this says it's a blurring primer, but it felt more mattifying than it did pore filling. It was just thick and gluey, and I felt like if I didn't blend out my foundation well enough, you could really tell where I applied the primer. And I really didn't enjoy that. And again, it's kind of like that texture thing with some mattifying primer that they just don't blend out well enough on my skin. So that's why I'm getting rid of that. Then I have the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot primer. I had 2 of these. I did test it out and I do like it well enough, but again, I have so many primers, I'm going to give my backup to my friend Jean. And this actually has half a fluid ounce. It's a lot of primer you get in this free sample, but all of those are going to go. So then for foundation, I have 4 that I'm decluttering from my collection. The first is something I just got from my friend Jean. I did film an unboxing video of a huge makeup care package. I'll have it linked up in the cards, and I've already worn this twice and decided I don't need it, and that would be the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in Fair 2W. The shade's a little light for me, but I could definitely make it work. I think that this ended up looking nice on my skin after I put on the rest of my products, but it really was not easy to apply. I tried a bunch of different methods to see how I could get the best application, the most coverage. And the method of application I liked best was a sponge, which is no surprise to me, but I think that this is just not made for oily skin. I just got way too greasy with this, and yesterday I paired it with a matte primer and a mattifying powder to see if that could help like lock it in for a little bit longer, and it did help a little bit, but I'm still just too oily for it. And I do have several foundations in my collection, so I am gonna go ahead and pass that one on to a friend. And the other ones I have here would be the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation in 720 Bali. This is a little dark for me, and this is a nice foundation because it does give some slammin' coverage. It is not the most mattifying for me, and I like it, but it's kind of just okay. And again, I have other foundations that I prefer, so I'm gonna send this one to my friend Lucy. Then I've got the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation in Light 43 Warm. I'm just not into this. It does give great coverage, but it just feels a little heavy on the skin, and it takes me a really long time to use up foundation, so I would rather pass this on to a friend. So this is gonna go to Jean. And then the last foundation, I'm gonna try to find someone to declutter it to, but I might just get rid of it, which is sad, but I'm okay with it. This is a Hard Candy Glamouflage Foundation in Porcelain. I did have this one in use, and then I had 2 backups. My 2 backups I ended up giving to my spring giveaway winners. And this used to be my favorite mixer, and I think it's still amazing, but I haven't needed a mixer very much over this past year. And I do have a Clinique foundation that's a little light, that's a bit of a thinner consistency that I can use for a mixer if I need to, so I'm just gonna get rid of this. I used to love it, but it's kind of like past its prime for me. So I do have 4 products I decluttered that I already gave to my sister, so I wanna mention them all right now before I forget. One of them was the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. I actually thought that looked beautiful on this skin. It gave some great coverage. It was really easy to apply, but it wasn't the most mattifying for me. And again, I have a lot of foundations I love, and my sister is running out of foundation, and I thought she would really enjoy this one. It was a little dark for me, which means it should be good for her. So she hasn't tried it yet, but I think she'll really like it. I also decluttered to her the Rebel Stay Matte Concealer. I just didn't think this gave very much coverage, and I just wasn't that impressed with it. Then I had the Lancome Tenti Doll Ultra Wear Camouflage Concealer, which gives great coverage. It's a really nice product. It blends out pretty easily, but the lightest shade is still way too dark for me. And even when I add in my white concealer, I just had to use a lot. So I didn't really love that. So that's why I passed it on to my sister, was because of the shade. I did also declutter a setting spray to her. That would be the Ulta Beauty SPF 50 Rose Water Setting Spray. It just left a bit of like a oily residue on my skin, which I didn't love, and I have a lot of other setting sprays and I don't really need that one, so I did pass it on to her. And then I do have 3 other concealers I am decluttering. I have the Benefit Boing Industrial Strength Concealer in the shade number 1, which I had tried using for blemishes to give a little bit of extra coverage on my cheeks, forehead wrinkles. I think it worked really well, but I do have my MAC Studio Finish Concealer that I use to do all those things, and I like it better. So I'm gonna give this to my friend Jean. Then I have the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer in 10.0 Light Fair Neutral. This does give great coverage. It has a dewy finish. It's a little thicker and was kind of hard for me to blend out. I didn't really dislike this, but I was using it every day, not making a ton of progress, and I realized it was gonna take me a while and I wasn't loving it. I was like applying it with a brush and then blending it out with a sponge, which was definitely the best method of application for me, but I just had a hard time getting it to come out of my brush. I don't know, it just was a little finicky for me and I didn't love it, so I'm gonna give that to my friend Jean. And the last one is the Lancome Mackie Complete Concealer. This is in the yellow corrector shade. This one is just too dark and a little too yellow for me. So I was trying to mix this with my white concealer, but again, I had used so much white that it just wasn't really doing it for me. So I'm gonna pass this one on to my friend Ami, who is tanner than I am, and I do think that this would be a nice brightener for her. Then I've got one face powder. That would be the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Powder Foundation in 102 Fair Porcelain. I did already hit pan on this. I was using it to brighten the center of my face, but I would rather use this as an all over face powder, but it's too pale for me. My friend Jean has this and loves it, and she said that she would take this one. I would have found a way to use it up, but I wouldn't have been really enjoying it. I would have just been using it, which I don't really want to do anymore. I've decided that I had this revelation. Again, you'll hear more about it next week. Then we've got 4 setting sprays. So I have 2 of these little deluxe samples. of the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. I used up another little mini. I thought it was fine, but wasn't amazing. Like the sprayer wasn't amazing. So I decided I would just go ahead and put these in giveaways because I do have several other setting sprays to use. Then I have this Derma E Uplift Skin Beneficial Mood Enhancing Mist. This is the Uplift version. It was okay. I don't love facial mist. I prefer setting sprays or MAC Fix Plus, so I'm gonna pass on that, but it does smell really nice, and that's the same reason I'm letting go of this, which is the Herbivore Rose Hibiscus Coconut Water Hydrating Face Mist. If I'm gonna use any mist, it's gonna be Fix Plus or a setting spray. So I'm gonna pass this one on to a friend as well. So those are all the complexion products. So now on to cheek products. I have got 4. So the first is a cream blush. This is the Lancome My Parisian Blush in Rose Hospen. It is a really pretty pink color, but as I mentioned to you guys several times, I don't wear pink blushes, which is why I'm getting rid of this one, because the formula is amazing. This is similar to a ColourPop Super Shock Cheek, but it's a lot easier to apply and blend out. You can put this over top of powder, like face powder, and it works perfectly. I really love the formula. I just don't like the color, so I'm gonna be sending that to my friend Jean. Next, I'm getting rid of another pink blush. This is theBalm's Down Boy. I think this is so beautiful. I think I've attempted to get rid of this before, but I just couldn't do it. It's a really beautiful, very pale blue tone pink, which I can pull off because I am so fair, and it actually doesn't show up this pale on the skin, but I don't like pink blush. I'm wearing a pink blush today, but it's more of a warm pink, and I'm liking it a little bit more than I expected, so I'm probably gonna hold on to that one for a little bit longer. We'll see by next update what I end up doing with it, but this one I'm going to let go of. I love the blushes from theBalm. I think they have a great formula. Just not into that shade. Then I'm getting rid of the ColourPop Zoella blush in Soulmate. It's a really pretty color, but I have a lot of very similar blushes in my collection, so I will be passing that one on to my friend. Then I am going to be getting rid of another ColourPop product. This is the Done Deal Cheek Duo, which has the Above and Beyond blush and the Made Me Do It highlighter. I think these might be sold individually. So you have a really bright matte blue tone pink, and then you have this beautiful like peachy pink champagne highlight. I love the highlight. The formula is really nice. The color is very pretty, but it's a little bit dark for me, so I can make it work. If I had the highlight on its own, I probably would keep it, but it's not perfect for me, and because I do have it in this duo, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it away to a friend. I really wish they would come back out with those duos because I do think that was a really fun idea. Then we've got some eye products. So I have a brow pencil. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil in Universal Taupe. I do think that this is a nice product. Honestly, I've just gotten so annoyed of trying to use this up because I'm not making any progress using it every single day. So if you do buy this, you will get your money's worth, but I'm just gonna pass this on to one of my friends because I do have other brow products I would rather be using right now. Next, I have a single shadow. This is Buxom La La Lavish. It's a beautiful duochrome shadow. It's like a purple with a blue flash, but I do have Black Light from Makeup Geek that is basically the same shadow, and that one's in like a pan version, so that's why I'm decluttering this. Otherwise, I would keep it. The formula is really nice, and that was just a sample size. Next, I'm getting rid of the Stila Glitter and Glow in Wanderlust and the Stila Glitter and Glow highlighter in Kitten. I was using both of these as lid toppers. I did just put some Inglot Duraline in here to make them a little bit creamier, again, easier to apply. I just have similar colors. I don't use liquid shadow very much, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass these on to a friend. Next, we've got some eyeliners. I have 2 minis of the Stila Stay All Day liquid liner. I actually do really like this product, but I have a lot of unopened liquid liners in my collection, and I actually haven't worn liquid liner a whole ton over the past year, so I figure I have already tried this one. I already know I like it, so I might as well pass these on since I do have like 4 or 5 other liquid liners to test out. So that's gonna be going in my giveaway pile. Then I've got some pencil liners. This is a Marc Jacobs Highliner Matte Gel Crayon in Earthquake, which is a matte brown. It's just a little dark for me, and this one is a little bit dried out. I could still get some use out of it, but it's too dry for me to pass it on to a friend, so this will be going in the trash, unfortunately. Then I'm getting rid of some black liners because I never use them and I still have a few I want to test. So I've got the Smashbox Always On gel liner in Fishnet and the Maybelline Lasting Drama and Sleek Onyx. I love this formula from Maybelline, but this color does run on me a little bit. I have had this in the past, but it's a super creamy liner similar to the Urban Decay 24/7, but these are both unused. I'm gonna be giving these away to a friend. Next, we've got some mascaras, and these are all going to be going into my giveaway. So I have two of the Bare Minerals Lashtopia Mega Volume Mineral Base Mascara. Part of me really wants to try this, but I have so many mascaras in my collection that I need to use up. I've got the Laura Mercier Caviar Volume. My friend Christy just sent me a full size of this, so I'm just going to give away the mini. Then I've got the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. I do have another tube of this in my collection, and I've seen the brush and I don't think I'm gonna love it, so I'm gonna keep one to try, but the other I'm gonna give away. Then we've got the Well People Expressionist Mascara, which looks like a nice mascara for separation and whatnot, but I prefer volumizing mascaras. Then we've got the Maybelline Total Temptation Mascara, which I've used before, and it was just okay for me, so I will pass that on as well. So now for makeup, we just have a whole bunch of lip products. So this first one is unused, so this is gonna go in a giveaway. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in the vanilla scent. I just don't like vanilla. I love that lip product. I love the berry version. The apple lime is really nice too, but I just cannot get past the vanilla scent. I have a tinted lip balm. This is the Sun Bum tinted lip balm in the shade Bonfire. The scent is just okay for me. I tried it on. I didn't love the tint, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. Next, I do have a lip liner. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Lips But Better Waterproof Lip Liner Stain, and this is the shade Blushing Nude, which is a really pretty pinky peachy nude color. But I have a lot of lip liners in my collection, way too many. I was kind of embarrassed by the amount, so I need to get that number down, and this will be one of the easiest ones for me to let go of just because that was a freebie. Next, I've got a couple more nude sticks. So these are the Intense Matte Lip and Cheek formula, which I do enjoy, but I wasn't in love with these colors. So first, this little mini is in the shade Pixie, and oh, it's pretty. It's like a peachy tan. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to this one for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try this a few more times and then decide whether I'm gonna keep it or not. The other one though is in the shade Entice. This is just a weird peachy color on me that is just not cute. So I know I'm definitely passing on this one. This just looks like a mac and cheese Crayola color. I do have one more jumbo lip crayon. This is Hourglass Girl Lip Stylo in the shade Futurist. I love a jumbo lip crayon, but this was just like a little bit too neutral for me. It does have a nice, it's right here. It does have a nice shine, but it's just not something that I need. So I'm gonna pass that on. Next, I've got 5 bullet lipsticks. The first one is a Bobbi Brown Luxe Lip Color in the shade Neutral Rose. This is just a little mini. Gonna give that to my friend Jean. I actually didn't even try that one on my lips. I just swatched it, but it's not something I need to have. Then I've got the Too Faced Naturally Nude lipsticks, and this is in the shade Strip Search. It's a beautiful color. I'll swatch it. It's a beautiful shade, but it's just too pigmented and too creamy that it looks a little funny on my lips. If this was more of a satin or matte formula, or even a little bit more sheer, I do think I would have liked it more. For instance, if I had this color in this formula, I think I would have liked it. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Primrose. It's a pretty blue tone pink that I used to love, but I just don't like blue tone pinks on me anymore, so that's why I'm getting rid of that. Then I've got the Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Criminal. It's a comfort matte finish. I feel like this doesn't smell amazing. I don't think it's completely gone off, but I don't have any other Vice lipsticks to really compare. No, I do. I have one mini, so I'll compare the scent to make sure this one hasn't gone off, but it's not that old, so it shouldn't. But last time I wore this, I wasn't happy with the way the color looked on my lips, and the product was like separating on the inside of my lips, which happens to me a decent amount, but it kind of just depends on the lipstick. So I used to really like this one. It was in a yearly favorites, and I'm just not into that color anymore. And then I'm getting rid of the Urban Decay Revolution lipstick in Naked. And that's because I do have a mini of Naked in the Vice formula, which is newer. So I am gonna pass this one on if I have a friend that wants it, just because I'm fine just keeping the mini. Then I've got a couple liquid lipsticks. So this first one is a mini Anastasia liquid lipstick in Crush. I have the full size. I don't need this for a backup, so that is gonna go in a giveaway. Then I have this mini Stila Stale Day liquid lipstick in Patina. This is just an okay color for me and an okay formula. I have plenty of others that I prefer. Same with Ofra Laguna Beach. I actually love the Ofra formula. It's just this color is a little too pink for me. Like I said, I'm just not into pinks. There is what that color looks like, and I'll swatch Patina next to it. They're similar. Patina is a little pinker and the Ofra has a little bit more red in it. But again, they show up darker on my lips and they look in the packaging, which I don't love. Then I've got a Ciate Liquid Velvet in the shade Bittersweet. It's a little bit more of a gray tone lip color. It's a really nice formula. It's more of like a satin liquid lip, which is nice, but I just don't love this color. I think it would look really nice on my friend Ami, so I will send that to her. Then I've got this Bare Minerals Gen Nude liquid lipstick in the shade Swag. This is a nice formula and the color is very pretty, but again, I have other things that I reach for more, so I just don't need this one. But out of everything I'm getting rid of, this is probably like the most me color, and it's a good formula, but like I said, I just don't need it. And then we've got 4 glosses. I'm surprised by this first one because I used to really love this. It's the NYX Butter Gloss in Merengue. I love the formula, but I've kind of grown out of these glosses. I don't love them like I used to. And again, this is a very blue tone pink. It's actually like super bright and purpley, which is just not me anymore. I'm just much more into neutral lip colors. Next, I have 2 glosses from Soap and Glory. I know these are definitely different packaging, but I'm assuming it's because they're from different lines. I think this one is Pillow Plump and this one is Sexy Mother Pucker. This is in the shade Pinkwell. This one is in the shade Plum Sup. That's kind of weird. I actually, back in the day, before I ever watched YouTube, I bought one of these glosses from Target in a different shade. I do think that they have a nice formula, but I have other glosses that I prefer over these, so I'm just gonna pass those on. And the last one is surprising to me. This is a Pixi Lip Lift Max in Petal Ice, which is basically a clear gloss. It has like a light pink tint, but it's a clear gloss. I used up a mini of Rose in the past and I really liked it, but for some reason this clear one feels a little thicker on the lips, and I just don't need a clear gloss. So I'm getting rid of that one as well. So really quickly, I'm gonna sit here and try to count up the makeup products that I'm decluttering, and then I'll show you the polishes. So I just counted up everything and I am decluttering 55 products. I have 2 things that I'm gonna be trashing, and then I have the 1 thing that's gonna be a maybe, 8 things I'm keeping. So literally getting rid of 57 if you count the 2 trash products, and keeping 8, which is awesome. If I was getting rid of this, that would make 58, and that would mean that I was literally getting rid of 50 more than I'm keeping, which is really exciting and impressive. So now let me finish by showing you the polishes. I am getting rid of 9. 2 of them I'm trashing, 7 I am decluttering. So for the 2 that I'm trashing, it's so sad, but I got a lot of use out of these. So that would be the Formula X Alive, which is an amazing peach, and Sally Hansen Extreme Wear in Lacy Lilac. So on this polish, I'm all the way down here. So I've used up more than half. And with this polish, I'm all the way down here. So I've also used up more than half. And this is affordable, and this I got on sale. So I did really like these in their heyday. I did try to put in some thinner in here, but it still just wasn't working for me. So they will go. Then for my spring polishes, I have so many that I had to make some really hard decisions about what I was realistically going to use and what I felt like I had to have. So I actually ended up getting rid of 3 KL polish shades, which was hard for me. So the first one is Pistachio Ice Cream. It's a really pretty color, but just kind of a weird green on me. Then I'm getting rid of 2 yellows, Celine, which is a shimmery it's like a pastel yellow mixed with a little bit of mustard, and then you have like a true bright pastel yellow, which is Gemini. I wore this in a couple videos recently. I liked it better on camera than I did in person. I wanted yellow to work for me, but I just don't think it does. I prefer Gemini over Celine, but they just both kind of look odd on me. Then I'm getting rid of this Moonshine Manny, no more of that dull stuff. It's a beautiful polish. I think it actually has a pretty good formula, but I'm just not into polishes like this. I like holographic duochrome polishes, or I like creams. I don't love a lot of glitter. I do find it to be a little bit hard to apply as well, but it's a really nice polish. And then the other three I'm getting rid of are from ColourPop. These actually have a great formula and they're beautiful colors, but I have a lot of similar things and these aren't available any longer. I would love it if ColourPop tried to release polishes again. So the three colors would be Dust and Dream, which is a mint. Pixelated is a blue, and First Wings First is a very pale purple. So all of those polishes I'm going to be sending to my friend Jean, which I'm excited about because Jean doesn't have a huge polish collection, and I know she likes the KL polish formula. So guys, I know this was kind of a long update, but I do feel really, really happy with everything I was able to declutter from my collection. I feel really good about it, and hopefully next update I will be able to get rid of more things as well. I would love to know if you guys are decluttering right now. I've been loving watching decluttering videos always, but I think a lot of people have been more active with decluttering during this quarantine, but I would love to know how you guys feel about your collections right now, how you feel about decluttering, purchasing. Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.